You had a unique situation when you first came to WWE. You were working in both Smoky Mountain and WWE. What are your memories of first coming into WWE, and how were you treated?
Well, when we first got to WWE, it was supposed to be a one-shot deal against the Steiner brothers at SummerSlam. And I was cool with that. But when we got there, it's kind of a tough deal when you have family working in a company, and especially in an entertainment company. We were treated okay. We were treated fairly. But once again, we weren't very confrontational. Jimmy Del Rey and myself weren't very confrontational. We were just happy to be somewhere. We were just happy to be there. It was originally supposed to be just SummerSlam, and then they brought us in, I think, for Survivor Series, and then we did another pay-per-view. And it wasn't until, I think, May of '94 when they offered us a contract. And the funny thing about that, and this is a line that helped me lose my job, but Vince McMahon, when he hired me, told me, "Tom, when I first met you, I thought you were a flaming fucking asshole." And what does that do to you, man? I just went, but I was a flaming fucking asshole when I first met Vince. But it was the circumstances, and that's the story for another day, I guess. And we got hired. But once we got hired, you know, I think we were maybe under a lot of scrutiny, possibly, and possibly not. But my opinion was we were under a lot of scrutiny, and it was up to us to speak up, and we didn't. We just pretty much did our job and thought that's what we were supposed to do. And not going to make waves, not going to cry and whine or say anything. But we got told, I think, the second TV we did for full-time, somebody came to me and said, "Pat Patterson wants to talk to you guys." And I'm thinking, man, he's going to tell us what a great match we had. Pat said, "Guys, what you did on TV, you just ate them up, it was nothing." And he went into detail about how horrible we were, and I thought, well, this is the shits. But I mean, you know, man, that was the way it was, and it was up to us to change it or speak up, and we did what we thought was right, but we wound up where we wound up, I guess. I have no complaints though, man. It was a great time. And
you ended up in that first run, I guess something happened with Jimmy Del Rey, and he left the company, and you ended up as Dr. X or something?
Yeah, well, what happened, Jimmy left, and there was that time where I was in limbo, and I was kind of working some shots for ECW and a couple other places, and then I got a call asking if I'd like to cut my hair, dye it blonde in a crew cut, and be Chris Candido's partner. And I said, absolutely not. I said, okay, cool. They hung up on me. I went, whoa, no discussion about this? Not going to try and talk me into it? Well, what happened was I called back and said, you know what, it's just hair, let's do it. All the while thinking, no man, I'll still get out of it. And finally, the day came, flew to Hershey, Pennsylvania, I'll never forget this, and we waited all night long, and right before the show started, they said, all right, it's time to go. And they took me to the salon and they filmed the whole thing. Didn't show it on TV, they just filmed it for their collection. And we got the haircut, and I came back, and that's when I started becoming Chris's partner. Now, after Chris broke his neck, Body Donna's pretty much evaporated.
But you were tag team champions,
yeah,
at one point.
Man, I'm telling you, you know, it sounds like it was terrible, and it was terrible, it was a horrible gimmick. I have really no complaints. Looking back on it, we should have spoke up a lot more than we did. I should have spoke up a lot more than I did if I didn't like something. But I didn't want to be a crybaby, didn't want to be a whiner, just wanted to get along. You can't do that if you're going to be successful. You have to speak up. You have to have ways and learn how to manipulate to get your way. But we were tag team champions, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for everything I got. But it was after that when things happened with Chris. He broke his neck, and things were going the way they were going. They weren't going so great for any of us. And that's when I became a trainer and started putting on the mask, going on the road with guys like Mark Henry, Rock, Brockus, and some other guys too, man. I wore the mask and did what needed to be done.
What was the issue with Brockus? There seemed to have been a lot of hype into him. Nothing ever really came out of him.
No, I think he got 2 vignettes on TV, and then I'm not sure. And I went on the road with Brockus for about a month. I think it was a month straight. We did some pretty good weeks there, and he just never clicked. And then they sent him to Brett in Calgary, I believe, and Brett had a ring set up at his house, and they were trying to bring him along, but I think Brockus just never got the hang of it. He never grasped what he was supposed to grasp, you know. So I mean, great guy, man. I had a lot of fun with him too. He knocked the dog shit out of me in the ring quite a few times, and I think he gave me a concussion once. But back in those days, we didn't have doctors, man, so I just knew since my head was hurting and I was throwing up, it probably was.